Thank you, and welcome to Quite Contrary. Johnny Dim here, just doing a rough cut. I'm going to give you some thoughts, some stuff that's on my mind. So one of the major reasons that motivated me to make this video was I saw Brigsby Bear yesterday, and to be honest, I thought I knew what the best movies of 2017 were before I saw that, but no. No, Brigsby Bear is damn near. I'm gonna say, well, for me personally, it is the best movie of 2017. I think more people should see it. I think it's a really, really good movie. I can't give too much away, but I will say it was surprisingly enchanting. It was a movie I could relate to in a lot of different ways, and part of the reason it's so good is that it has a twist. I mean, there's a couple twists in the movie, and the best one is like towards the beginning, and that's why I can't give you a lot of details about why it's so good. But I can tell you Mark Hamill's in it, and that's pretty fucking awesome. But what really impressed me about the movie is that it didn't blow its load too early in that movie. It really kept up the momentum. You know, it hit you hard at the beginning, and it didn't let go. You were very invested early on in the main character of that movie, and you know, there is some filmmaking aspects of the movie, which is something I'm into a lot lately, and that's another reason that it got me personally. But overall, I mean, it really grabs you and doesn't let go, and the ending is so satisfying. You know, in my other movies, I tweeted about my favorite movies today. I tweeted about my favorite movies of 2017, my top 3, and I think I had Dunkirk, I had Brigsby Bear, and I had It, which is the one that, if you remember, if you saw that episode of Quite Contrary, we'll link you in the description. But Zach does not agree with me on that one. But some other great movies this year. Logan, of course, that was surprisingly this year. And then there's Star Wars, of course. You can't leave Star Wars out. Well, unless you hate Star Wars, which there's a lot of people that do. But anyway, it's a Academy Award season. I mean, there are going to be a lot of people talking about that. And there was an interview that I was reading about with Christopher Nolan, because of course Dunkirk got a bunch of awards, or is nominated for awards. It's going to win some for sure. That movie was incredible, and it definitely deserves all the nominations that it got. But something that came up in that interview was actually something that they were talking about with 2001: A Space Odyssey. Christopher Nolan saw that movie like at the age of 7, and actually liked it at the age of 7, which is incredible. And I don't think he's bragging necessarily. I think that, and they get into this, and it's something. I think they said this term in there. I don't think I made this up. Like elemental filmmaking. Like, there are movies that can be even better appreciated almost by kids, because you don't need to understand everything that's going on to appreciate it. Some other examples they gave are like Lion King and The Wizard of Oz and things like that. There are movies there are adult movies even that you wouldn't think a kid would appreciate, but they do, because the elements are so basic and so universally understood visually. I think 2001: A Space Odyssey is a great example of that. It's a fantastic movie, and as an adult, it's almost hard to appreciate because it can be boring, you know, because of the visuals and how slow things go at times, and just the visual makeup of that movie. But so I want to ask you guys. I want you to answer me in the comments of this video. What's a movie that you watched as a kid, preferably adult movie, that you loved and appreciated then? But it could be a movie that you don't appreciate as an adult. Like, for example, although it's kind of a more simpler movie, and a more simple explanation of why I would have liked it as a kid, but I remember seeing Top Gun as a kid. And my parents, you know, growing up, they didn't let me watch rated R movies and stuff, but that was an exception because I was so young when I saw it. Like, you know, I was below the age of understanding what it was. And I loved the visuals of that movie. I love, you know, the fast vehicle, you know, the fast jets and all the stunts that are going, all going on. It's a high energy movie, and especially when you pair that with the soundtrack. I'm sure there's like what was it? I almost said Talladega Nights, but no, there's a Tom Cruise movie that was a NASCAR, Days of Thunder. You guys will probably correct me on that. I think it's Days of Thunder. But like that one's like, if you just pair the soundtrack and the visuals, like it's an incredible, you know, visual story almost. But anyway, let me check my notes. I want to, like I said, I'm not going to fucking edit this. You guys, you're just going to take it, the whole thing. Actually, that was it. Those are the things I wanted to talk about. I already talked about Dunkirk and its awards that it's nominated for, which is awesome, and I congratulate Christopher Nolan on that. I'm a big Chris Nolan fan, so I think it's awesome. But I also do want to also mention that we don't mention it enough, but we do have a Patreon page. We don't like to shove things and get, you know, down your throat or anything. But we do have a Patreon. It's awesome. We have amazing patrons. We don't have that many, but the ones we do have seem to love us a lot, and we love them back. So it's actually at patreon.com/warlocks. And the reason it's Warlocks, people don't know this much because we kind of focus on the Quite Contrary more than anything else, but we're part of the Warlocks Entertainment System network. We started, our main channel is actually Warlocks Entertainment System, but we've been focusing so much on Quite Contrary that we just don't talk about it very much. But when you support us there, you're supporting all of Warlocks. We're hoping to get back into more board game videos on the other channel. Quite Contrary's been about movies, a little bit of video games, but I think the main focus is definitely movies. So if you love movies, you can just stay here. If you do like board games and stuff like that, follow the other channels. There's all the links are there. They're always in the description. But anyway, that's really all I had. And then please, like I said, in the comments, tell me what video, or excuse me, tell me what movie, like an adult movie, that you super appreciated as a kid. And yeah, that's it. Because I think when I read that about the interview that was with Chris Nolan, I thought it was fascinating, and I think it's very true. I'm really cold. I'm actually on the roof of my apartment building right now. That is downtown Houston behind me. So I'm going to get the hell out of here. But we'll check you next time. So later, guys.